All right, how are you guys? So I'm trying something different today. I want to show you guys a little bit of a mix that I just did for an artist called Ken Douglas from Springfield. I did the mix and mastering for this song. It's already released. It's called "He Never Failed" by Kim Douglas. You can look it up. I did the mix and mastering and also did the guitars and bass. So I wanted to show you guys a little bit of what I did. Um, I'm gonna put a little bit of the song. It's a very gospel vibe. So this is the final mix. The song is already out. We also recorded the background vocals here and the main vocals. I wanted to show you guys what I did with the drums. These drums, I believe they weren't real drums. They were program drums. So I had to do a little bit of work in order to make them sound good. This is the drum bus, and I'm gonna loop just the drums. So that's how it sounded after. Like I said, I had to do a little bit of work with it. Um, I did a little bit of processing on the drum bus first. All right, so this is how it sounded without the. This is only what I did on the drum bus. I'm only focusing on the kick, snare, and overhead, which is basically what it had. It was one kick, snare, overhead, but I think it was probably recorded with one of those, maybe Easy Drummer or something like that. So it kind of like simulates the room. So I only literally have one side, and then it was like a bunch of channels of toms. So we can see that later. This is how it sounded without the triggers and without the processing. This is only the drum bus. This is with the trigger. Basically, the kick, it gave it a little bit more body to it, and the snare as well. This is without. This with. And then I did have to do a lot in the drum bus. This is the drum bus without anything. So this is basically how it sounded when I got it. So I processed a lot in the drum bus first. Did a little bit of EQ because it didn't have a lot of body. Tape machine. This is without the tape machine. This is with. It sounds bigger, like more space. I ran it through this channel. It's like a Neve console channel, and this preamp a little bit again just to give it a little bit more color. Shep's channel. This is without. This is with. I was using saturation, compressor, and EQ here. So this was doing a lot of the heavy lifting. It's one of my favorite channel strips from Waves. And then the Pultec. Famous Pultec. This is without. This is with. So again, a lot of more bottom end crack. And the drum sounded bigger too with this. And I always put at the end a room reverb just to give it a little bit of space. This is without. This with. So again, it's very subtle. It's not a lot. I was just trying to recreate the sound of a real drums like in the room. So then what I did, I went to the kick. I had everything running in a bus. This is how it sounded. Just the trigger. That's the trigger that I used. and this is how it sounded when I got it. This was the actual. This actually was the kick sound, basically like this. I just put some EQ, SSL, compression. I basically use the compressor just to drive it a little bit more, and then the trigger. It has some punch, some body to it, and I treated the trigger. This is from the Slate Digital triggers. This is basically just the drums, the kick drum with all the plugins and stuff. This is without any plugins. Again, EQ. You guys see, cutting a little bit of 400, boosting a little bit of 4K right there. Sheps again, saturation, compression, and EQ. That's without, that's with, this is without. Just with. And then again, the Pultec, boosting 30 hertz, the lows. This is with the snare. Just the trigger. Again, giving some space. That's how it sounded when I got it. Like this. So I basically put some, again, compression, a little bit of EQ with the SSL, and then I added the trigger, a little bit of reverb and a little bit of processing here on the bus. So that's how much it changed. I'm going to show you guys a little bit how it sounded without the guitars. Again, like I said, I added some guitars to it. This is how it sounded, the backgrounds and stuff. So I added a real bass. So it came with this bass. So, but when we started mixing, it wasn't cutting through a lot. So I added a real bass. It's my Squire, the jazz bass, and I blended both. Again, and this is without the guitars, and I added my guitars. It's a left and right clean guitar doing some rhythm. They're basically doing the same thing, just minor differences. It's like they're responding to each other. And the lead is the lead. And then this with everything. The part. The other part that came out really, really good was the backgrounds. We recorded a lot of backgrounds. We did. We had three singers. Each one of them, they had their own mic, and then I put a room mic in the middle, and then they started rotating. We had 12 channels of backgrounds. So what I do with the backgrounds, I definitely put everything on the bus. After I edited everything, I put everything on the bus, and then I panned in, and then I treat everything as one. So these are the backgrounds without the processing, right? There's some EQ, cutting the low. I boosted some of the highs, some of the lows. And you never will. This is without. You never will. This with is a big difference, more clean. And you never will. Then again, the Sheps. And you never will. Adding some saturation, EQ, and compressor. You never will. This is without. And you never will. This is adding the Sheps. You never It's not doing a lot, but it's very subtle. And then the Esser, I put a delay, very subtle. And you never will. Then the reverb. You never will. This is how it sounded. I'm gonna put it so you can hear. So yeah, that's basically how I do my mixes. I do have a template with most of the stuff that I use. I change things here and there depending on the genre and depending on the arrangements and all that stuff. But this was a very fun song to do. It was more gospel. I added the guitars, bass, backgrounds, and then I did have to do a little bit of heavy lifting on those drums. But at the end, it sounded really, really good. She was very, very happy. Hope you guys like this video. If you guys like them, let me know down below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And if you guys like more videos like this, just let me know. Yeah, let's go.